the basis of the supreme bliss of nirvana realized at the enlightenment is defined by the last stanza of the Karaniyametta Sutta, saying dittinca anupagamma seela dassanena sampanno. That saying, the words of the Buddha, says the enlightenment and the supreme bliss of nirvana is realized by a vision free of all the prejudices created by our preconceived notions. Our preconceived notions are conclusions that we have arrived at on the basis of the faulty information supplied by our sensory organs that cannot never know the actual reality of the relevant sensory objects. Because all our sense organs are incapable of knowing the actual reality of the things they experience, because their capacities are limited. It is due to this wrong information creating an ignorance in us about our sensory objects lead to our liking and disliking. Liking leads to attachment to such objects. Disliking leads to the resentment of such objects. All these objects are not actual but only mental realities. We cannot experience the reality of the sensory objects through our weak sensory organs, and we experience only the mental images created with the help of the signals given by our sensory organs regarding their experiences. Thus, our mind, unenlightened mind, consists of three main aspects: ignorance, attachment, and resentment. In Buddhist language, attachment is called raga, resentment is called dosa, and ignorance of the reality is called moha. It is this ignorance that leads to our attachment to mental objects as well as our resentment of mental objects. Attachment through liking and resentment through disliking. Nibbana, or the supreme bliss of nirvana, is the outcome of the reality of the falsehood of our mental objects, mental images, through our insight of wisdom that can penetrate such illusory mental images. To realize these mental images are only illusions and delusions, but not actual realities. They are like the images that we see in a mirror. When we are in front of a mirror, we see that we are inside the mirror. It looks real, but actually not real, because we are not inside the mirror, but outside the mirror. Similarly, all mental objects are beyond the actual reality of the actual objects of the world or the universe. The page 470 of the Nibbana Sutta defines Nirvana, the supreme bliss Nirvana, and this sutra or the discourse is found in the volume 4 of Sanyutta Nikaya at page 474. It defines the supreme bliss of enlightenment called Nirvana as the extinction of attachment to mental objects called raga, resentment of mental objects called dosa, and ignorance of the reality of those mental objects as moha. Therefore, in the Nibbana Sutta, according to Buddha's words, Nibbana or the supreme bliss of Nirvana is, in Buddha's words, raga koyo, dosa koyo, moha koyo, idam buchyate Nibbana. That means the supreme bliss of Nirvana is the extinction of attachment called raga, resentment called dosa, and ignorance of the reality called moha. And this is the basis of the enlightenment and also the basis of the supreme bliss of enlightenment. Through realizing the actual reality of our mental experiences.